Hi everyone, so today I have another video showing you how to use another one of the templates that I offer on my shop. And these are the Ombre checkboxes. They come as one page in 4 sizes and multiple different shapes, and I think it's selling right now for $325 or $375, somewhere in that range, and it's available on my shop right now, so I'll have a link to this specific item and my shop in general in the YouTube description box or in the blog post itself if this is embedded there. It just depends on where you're watching this. So the main reason I'm doing this is because I get a lot of questions about whether people about how people should be using these. So there are a lot of questions about whether these will ombre on their own or whether that's something you need to do manually. And the answer is that it will do it automatically for you, and I'll be showing you how to do that since that's been like where I've been getting the most questions. So what I'm going to do is, this is the exact page as it comes, and so I'm going to select the entire thing, copy it, and paste it into another page. And I recommend that you do these with all of your templates, that you still have the original in case like you mess something up here and you want to revert back to the original. That's just an easy way to do it. So I'm just going to exit out of this, and now I have this open here. So you can do multiple things with these. Just a general overview of what's available. On this first row, these are all the Happy Planner sizes, and you have hearts, diamonds, triangles, stars, and circles. And I've only ever posted printables on my blog and shop that have used the hearts, but I decided I would try something new with these in case hearts weren't really your thing and you wanted to try different things. And then the second row, you have the Erin Condren vertical, the Erin Condren horizontal, and the Big Happy Planner all the way down here. And this is the sizing for the original Big Happy Planner. I haven't been able to find the sizing for the newer ones yet, and yeah, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later in a later segment on this. So what you'll want to do is to change the colors on these, you just highlight the boxes here. You don't want to highlight the hearts, and I'll show you why in a second. So we're just going to highlight these boxes, and some of these might be grouped, so you might want to ungroup them first, but this first row isn't. So I'm just going to highlight all of this. If I want to simply change the color, I'll open the fill color, and I'll select the color that I want to be the base, or I guess the top color, and then it will ombre down from that. So for example, here the base color is black. Let's say I want to change that base color to this pink over here. I'll just click on that, and there we go. It's all pink. I'm going to go into my line color setting here, and then also adjust the color to match. And you can either do no color, white color. I think that also looks really good, but I just generally like to keep the color the same because then you kind of get to see the breakup of the colors without it being too much of a shift. And so I'll just show you how to do that again. You're going to want to highlight the whole thing, select your color, oh, that's the line, select your color, and there you go. Now you won't want to select your shape, and here's why. So let's say I did select the entire shape, and I want to do this blue. It fills in the shape, which is not what you want. You want to keep that white or whatever color you're wanting it to be. And so then something else you can do with these is you can always add a pattern. And so the patterns that I've seen most often used are like glitters, and that's something that I've done a few times, but not a ton. So let me scroll down, find the, here we go. Here's the glitter, and let's say I want to use this blue one here, and there we go. It automatically adds the ombre to this pattern. I just need to go in and select my eyedropper and pick a color that I want the line to be. This also works with obviously any other pattern. It just depends on the pattern itself and how good it would be for a background. You don't want it to be too overpowering. Something like this might be a bit too much, but patterns like these work really well for what this is. Even like the polka dots might be effective. You just don't want something that's like has too many whites in it, because obviously the whites won't, like for example this, the whites are not going to ombre well. And so the way that this works, in case you want to change the settings on these, is that, I'll just go to this one for an example. If I select on that individual box and go to fill color, the transparency on each of these, as you can see down here, is changing by increments of 10, I believe. Except for down here, I made it 75, just so it would be more clear. But, for example, if I had this at a blue, and I wanted to make this down here seem lighter, I could change my transparency here to 90. Yeah, let's just do 90. And then I could change this one up here to 80, and then this one to 70. So that way you can get like lighter colors and more drastic shifts. But because it is based on transparency, very white-based colors are not going to show up as well. So like if I scroll down, if I go down here and I select like this color, this is not going to be as apparent as like, for example, this color up here, which is darker, which you're going to see that ombre a lot clearer than something that's white-based, because it's already, yeah, it already has a lot of white to it. So then when we're doing the ombre, we're just adding more white to it to kind of, I guess, dilute the color and add that ombre effect. So I think that's pretty much, oh, yeah, something else I wanted to show you is how to resize these. So in case you have a planner size that's not one of these four, it's really easy to change the sizing. So I'm going to go into the star one. I'm going to select the whole thing, shapes, boxes, everything. And I'll bring it over here. And to resize it, I'm going to select the whole thing and group it, which is the button down here, or Control G if you're on a PC. I'm going to go to the scale menu, and you can either lock aspect or not. And let's say I want to change it the width to 2 inches by 3 inches. It'll automatically resize it, and then I can ungroup it and change the colors there. Now something you'll notice is if I select all of this and I choose that same shade of blue, which I believe is this one, your ombre is going to look a lot better over a white background than over a gray background. And since it is transparent, it's going to take on the color of whatever's behind it. And so you'll always want to have, always make sure that you have your standard white background behind it to make sure that those colors are really popping. So if you have any other questions regarding the ombre boxes, be sure to let me know, either in the YouTube comments or the blog comments, or even just an Etsy message is always works for me, and I can always reply back and give you whatever advice or feedback you want. Alright, so to finish off this video, I just want to talk about some of the new releases and new items that have come to my shop and my blog in the past month. So starting off with the blog first, I released this donuts kit in January, which I really enjoyed, and I actually used this in my planner. And then we had this cute winter kit go up the last week of January. And the story behind this kit, just really briefly, is that I wanted to post it the week of Christmas, but I got ridiculously busy and it didn't happen. But I still had a copy of it that I used in my planner, and someone had asked on Instagram where they could find it, and I was like, oh, well, I didn't end up posting it, but I can if it's something that you'd be interested in. And a lot of people actually said that they wanted to see it regardless, even though it was kind of like Christmas themed. So I changed some of the things about it, made it a cute winter kit instead of a cute Christmas kit, and I posted it, and here it is. And I think this actually might have gone up, yeah, that went up that last week of January. And so then the next one was actually, I believe, last week, 10 days ago. As I'm filming this now. This was the caramel kit, which was one that you all voted on as one of the Valentine's Day kits that you wanted to see. And so that one definitely went up. And everything starting from this kit on will be up for a vote, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. For Valentine's Day, I released this love kit, which this is probably one of my favorite ones of all time. I just love the artwork on this and the colors. I haven't used it in my planner yet, but I'm hoping to this week, which makes me really excited. And then this one went up today as I'm filming it, actually a couple hours ago, and this is the February glitter kit. And so yeah, every month I pick a glitter scheme for my monthly kits, and I put it together in a kit, and you all seem to like it. I think that these kits are particularly useful for weeks where you don't have a lot going on, or weeks where, yeah, or weeks where you may have a lot going on and you don't want to cover up your full boxes. I think they just work really well for any occasion, and I hope you enjoy it. So after this week, I'm looking to post a Paris themed kit. The reason is that when I did do that poll that I talked about earlier, the one that I believe won was something that had like a very dark brown, almost black, contrasted with a baby pink. And I definitely wanted to use that one. However, when I was looking at the patterns that were used for it, I found that they weren't really the quality that I wanted them to be. They were really simple, just like small hearts, and there were a lot that were kind of repetitive. And so I noticed that you all seem to like the color scheme the most, so I found this Paris kit that I'm really excited about that follows pretty much the same color scheme, but with patterns that I think a lot more people will find useful, especially since it's after Valentine's Day now. So that will be the last one for February. So the vote that I was talking about is, since lately I've only been doing Happy Planner and Erin Condren, and that's so that I can get those out faster, especially since like I've been getting really busy lately. But at the end of the month, I'll do a vote on every kit from that month, and the winner will be redesigned for the Big Happy Planner and the Erin Condren Horizontal, and those will go up on my blog as a bonus, not as a weekly. So as soon as I post that Paris kit, I'll have that vote go up, and the Big Happy Planner and Horizontal users can vote on which one they want to see recreated. I thought that was a fair way to do it, because I noticed that there were some kits that I was making for the Big Happy Planner that just weren't being used because they weren't as popular. So then this way the most popular kit will be made into that format, and it won't be that difficult to do since I've already put the colors together and everything for that. So some things with Etsy really quickly, if I just move on over to this tab here. I have started posting some printable items on my Etsy shop, just kind of for fun to see what happens, and my goal with these has been to make them really affordable, really basic, but give you something a little extra, something that you wouldn't normally find on my blog for free. For example, I just really love these patterns here, and I thought that they would be really fitting for the Etsy shop. And so what you'll get with these is, these are all printable kits, of course, and so you'll get a download for them. So when you purchase them, you'll get the Happy Planner, Erin Condren vertical and horizontal all together, so you won't have to buy separate listings, just because I feel like if you're going to pay money for a digital item, you might as well get it in every size possible. There's like, if you have multiple planners, you shouldn't have to pay twice. That's just a thing that I believe, and so I wanted to make that a part of this listing so that you could get everything. And it comes with the 6 pages that I've normally been offering. So like, here's a quick preview of everything that's there, and then as I move over, you can see here's like the first page, the second page, which is very standard, third, fourth with your quote box, and then you have your fifth, and then your sampler with the glitter headers and like all of your icons and such. And so then that way you can get everything that you normally would. And this entire thing is only $1.81, and this is the only kit that I only have. This is the only kit that I have up on my Etsy shop exclusively. I'm looking to do other things. I just wanted to see how this one would perform before I jumped in and got too excited about other things, just to get some feedback, see what you all think. And so yeah, this has been something that I've been really excited about, and the files that you get with it are a JPEG file, a PDF file, and a silhouette cut line file, the same ones that you usually see me offer on my blog, with everything completely flattened and the cut lines with like the red outlines along the boxes. And so yeah, these won't be templates, so you won't be able to change things about them. They're permanent. However, I watched, there was someone who made, I forgot her name, they made a YouTube video showing how they take my printables and make them so that they can edit them and like change sizing and add offsets, etc., I'll for sure link that video below. And I think I'm going to start linking it in all my blog posts just because I think that it was super helpful, and it even like showed me some things that I didn't even like know that I could have done with like the flattened files. And so I'll definitely add that to this video, so that if you do want to buy this or anything else on my blog, you kind of know that you have the option to do this. And so yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this. I did upload, it was quite a while ago, it was more in January, but I don't think I ever talked about it, a mini Happy Planner template. So if you're interested in that, definitely go see it. Oh, and something else I wanted to talk about that you may have noticed. The reason I haven't been selling big Happy Planner versions of this is that I keep seeing that the sizes changed. And so I went out and I got, I looked up online like the newer format of the big Happy Planner, and the sizing seems to be the same one that I've been using, which is 2.813 by 1.813. And so I'm kind of confused at this point because I don't know whether they changed it or whether they didn't, or whether the change only applies for some of the new ones. I've only had access to the older sizing, and so until I'm able to see the newer sizing, I'm not going to be making Etsy things for the big Happy Planner, just because I don't want to sell you something and then have it be wrong. And I do still sell, yeah, like this one here is for the big Happy Planner. Obviously it's the old sizing, but I do make it very clear in the description now that it's for the older sizing, since I just like found out that's what had been going on, and I decided to keep it up. And some people have still been purchasing it because they just want to get like a general feel for, like, for example, things like half boxes and like headers probably won't change that much in size, and so you can always readjust it just to get like that basic template. So I've still had that up there, but I didn't want to sell any of the things, the printable kits on Etsy like that, in case they were messed up. I didn't think that would be fair. For the blog, however, I will stick to the old sizing because that's just literally all I have right now, and I just feel like it might be better than nothing at this point for that. So yeah, that's all. After this, I'm going to be filming a video showing you how to easily add cut lines to any silhouette file you have, in case you purchase templates and you want to know how to quickly add those cut lines in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, because it's the way that I always do it for my blog, and it helps a lot, especially if you're trying to sell the files. That way you get everything, that way you can make sure that like there's no copyright infringement, etc. And then after that, I'll probably be posting a video with some general update things. I mentioned briefly on Instagram that I wanted to do something with custom kits, and so that that update video is going to be mostly talking about that, just trying to make sense of this idea that I've had, throw out some options, get some feedback. Yeah, that's all. So thank you, and I'll see you all later.